Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Same awesome Naya. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. I am sure majority of you have been seeing the videos coming out from Iran, Israel, and United States also being involved. And I am asking, why is it that anywhere they beat drum, when it is Pe0ple, United States of America is always warming up and getting ready to send soldiers out there to go and do something. Now, the fact that people that are in military, wake up every day to go and fight something they know nothing about and something that doesn't even concern them, calls for serious and urgent meeting because it is getting too much. Now, the money this country spends in going out to fight for something that doesn't make any sense, it's big and nice enough to set universal basic health care. But why would they do that? Because you all already know why America do not have. I know this doesn't concern, but why is it that United States do not have universal basic health care? Because they do not want you to benefit from it, but rather they will spend all that money out there on something that doesn't make sense. Now he is given how many weeks? 2 weeks to decide if they are going or not. Is that how far? Like, how much is Netanyahu paying you? Because make this make sense. At this point, I am not even understanding. Let's get into this.
You have been with me for a while. Y'all should remember this little tiny mic. I found it when I was cleaning out. Y'all know everybody got a box with all of these different cords, USB cords, this cord, USB. I had a box full of cords and I found my little tiny mic in that box. So give a hand clap welcoming back the little tiny mic. Listen, I know y'all have heard it. If you have been paying attention, you have heard Donald Trump say over and over and over again, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Well, now that all of these people felt that Donald Trump would be anti-war, he's now proving them wrong yet again, because it's the same people that have been proven wrong ever since Donald Trump took the second oath of office. They have been proven wrong, and those of us who knew what was coming with this presidency, we have been proven right. We have been able to say, we told you so, over and over and over again. Well, Donald Trump is now approving plans for war between Israel and Iran. And his base is all up in arms about it. All of the other people who say they didn't support Donald Trump but supported Donald Trump, they're all up in arms about it. And the rest of us, we're just sitting back and saying, we told you so. So they're trying to hold him accountable with all of these different threats. Donald Trump does not care. Donald Trump supports those who writes the checks. And while he's supporting those and doing what those who write the checks want, yeah, he's trying to appease everybody else. And so everybody is demanding that Donald Trump comes out with a specific plan and where the United States stand. And Donald Trump sent Caroline Levitt, they call her the North Korea lady, he sent her out with this message.
Regarding the ongoing situation in Iran, I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision-making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks." That's a quote directly from the president for all of you.
2 weeks. He'll have a decision for all of you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. He'll have a decision for you in 2 weeks. That is Donald Trump's go-to. Create chaos, has to come and make a decision, and his decision is always 2 weeks. Don't believe me? Here you go.
Been in office 3.5 years. You don't have a plan.
Well, we haven't had. Excuse me. You heard me yesterday. We're signing a health care plan within 2 weeks. And you're going to find it to be a very exciting 2 weeks. We're going to be announcing something, I would say, over the next 2 or 3 weeks that will be phenomenal in terms of tax. We've got some gas stations where just 2 weeks ago, it was $1.98, $1.99. We've got the gas down below. First 2 weeks have been probably, they say, the most successful 2 weeks in the history of any presidency. We'll be reporting back sometime over the next 2 weeks as to NAFTA. I'll be making a big decision on the Paris Accord over the next 2 weeks.
What about infrastructure? When is that going to happen?
We're going to do infrastructure very quickly. We've got the plan largely completed, and we'll be filing it over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
When will you make that decision?
Over the next couple of weeks. We're doing very well in the fight against ISIS, as General Mattis has just explained, and we're going to be having a news conference in about 2 weeks to let everybody know how well we're doing. And the mines are starting to open up. We're having a big opening in 2 weeks. We've had tremendous success against ISIS in our fight in the Middle East. We're doing very, very well. We're going to be having a news conference in 2 weeks on that fight. Our Secretary of Labor is coming out with a plan in 2 weeks. Wiretap covers a lot of different things. I think you're going to find some very interesting items coming to the forefront over the next 2 weeks.
Shout out to Brian Tyler Cohen. I got that compilation from him. But yeah, Donald Trump's response for everything is 2 weeks. And I'm going to tell you why I think he always goes for the 2 weeks. He always goes for the 2 weeks because he has no intention of implementing whatever it is, whatever plan, policy that he's promising. He has no intention of implementing it. And 2 weeks is his time frame in his mind that it will take for all of us to forget about said topic, policy, plan. Within this 2 weeks, he will do something else to create chaos to get you to forget about this right here. Yeah. He doesn't plan to make a decision. He plans to walk away from it, right? Or do whatever it is that he plans to do behind the scenes without all of our eyes focused on it. And within a 2 week period, he'll do something else to try to distract us from this. Yeah. I'm glad somebody in the press room caught up on Donald Trump always promising something to come forth in the next 2 weeks. And they asked about it during that press conference. Here's what Caroline Levitt had to say.
President Trump has said previously in regard to Russia, he's used this phrase about 2 weeks several times in terms of like, we expect like a 2 week deadline and then you give another 2 week deadline. How can we be sure that he's going to stick to this one on making a decision on Iran?
Well, in those deadlines, as you've seen in respect to Russia, Ukraine, might I add, these are two very different, complicated global conflicts, as you know, that the president
Child, we can cut that off right there because she goes into talking about how Donald Trump inherited these conflicts. Yeah. But he was the one that said over and over and over again on the campaign trail that he was going to rectify all of this. On day one, he said he was going to resolve the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. That was 6 months ago. Right? He said he was going to bring peace in the Middle East, but yet he's adding more conflict, pain, death to what's happening over in the Middle East. So she's talking about he inherited these conflicts. No, Joe Biden had it under control. Benjamin Netanyahu asked Joe Biden to stand with Israel in attacking Iran, and Joe Biden said no, period. But yet, he's got a fool in the White House now. Benjamin Netanyahu's got a fool in the White House. You promise him something, you make a deal where he's going to make money, billions of dollars, and he'll jump right on whatever plan that you have. Benjamin Netanyahu knows how to work Donald Trump, just like Vladimir Putin knows how to work Donald Trump. So that is why we find ourselves involved in this conflict over with Israel and Iran now. Yeah. And in 2 weeks, he's going to have He's going to have an answer for you. But I guarantee you, within the next 2 weeks, there's going to be something else he's going to do to try to distract you from this. And if you don't hold him accountable and continue to ask him about this, you won't hear them mention anything else about it. Yeah, I got a report to do. I'll see y'all later.
See, my thing is your peacetime president sure does talk about fucking bombs and war a lot. This isn't even a left versus right thing. Holy shit, we're just talking about pure definition at this point. Peace, war. Peace, war. At first it was a trade war. At least that wasn't fucking violent. And now he's basically egging on the Israel-Iran conflict. The first point I want to make, I'm really trying to condense these videos because I know I lose some of y'all with your attention span, but you have to stay with me and allow me the time to show you how all of these things tie back together into the same fucked up thing that is the Trump administration, right? So with this whole Israel-Iran thing, right, the rhetoric that I caught from Donald Trump was, we told Iran to make a deal. We've been trying to get them to make this deal for years and years and years. Basically, they went to Iran with this proposition. Iran didn't agree, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? That catches my ear when Donald Trump says it, because that's the same rhetoric that Hitler used when he attacked Warsaw. He said, we gave them, or whatever, if Warsaw isn't the right place, correct me, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm talking about, right? He said, well, we gave them all the opportunity. I told them to evacuate the women and children. I told them this, I asked them this, and then he attacked them, and he used his prior inquiry about their cooperation with his wishes as justification for attacking them. So when I hear Donald Trump say, oh, well, I'm not mad at Israel for attacking Iran. We tried to make a deal with them over and over and over again. So at least somebody attacked them. What is that? I'm not going to see that comparison and fucking ignore it, right? The second thing, right? At first, they wanted everybody to believe that Israel just fucking attacked Iran and the U.S. had no idea about it, nothing to do with it, even though we've been fucking pocket buddies since they've been genocide in Gaza, but they don't have any knowledge or to do with Israel bombing Iran. Cool, got it. But we all know the orange dictator can't keep his fucking mouth closed. Come to find out, they definitely knew about it. Israel obviously has military weapons, whatever the fuck, from the U.S. They've been had that, right? But then this post that he fucking, let me read this insane shit to y'all so I can get it fucking verbatim for y'all to read, right? Hold on, give me a second. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived, and manufactured stuff. Nobody is better than the good old USA. So we go from, oh, Israel attacked Iran, we don't know anything about it, to nobody makes better planes than the U.S. We control the Iran skies. Your peacetime president is talking an awful lot about bombs and fucking war. You can hate the left and Biden and Obama and Michelle and everybody all the fuck you want to, but you're not about to sit here and debate me about the fucking definition of peace and war. The fuck are we doing? On another note, this orange fucking demon, when they asked him, are you going to call Tim Walz after everything that went down? He said, no, why would I? Imagine if they had said, hey, Biden, are you going to call Trump after the assassination attempt? Are you going to call and check on him? And he said, no, why would I? I hate that motherfucker. Imagine if Kamala had did that. Imagine, for as much bullshit that they try to throw on Kamala as is, imagine if she would have been like, oh, fuck him. I wish their aim was better. Fuck him. Can you imagine? But then when they're just like, hey, are you going to call Tim Walz about the bullshit that went on with the lawmakers and everything? He said, no, why would I? His character is in the fucking dumpster. I have a detailed video coming up where I'm going to pick apart some of these dumbass comments I've seen y'all posting in Scotty's recent video about Los Angeles. I'm going to pick y'all apart to the best of my motherfucking ability. But it pisses me off when y'all try to compare anything about Obama to Trump or vice versa. Like Obama's character isn't 10 million times more magnificent than anything Trump's character could possibly fucking dream of being. Shit pisses me off. So if it's why would I call Tim Walz, or when he basically said oh, Biden should have cancer, he was a terrible president, right? So if Trump can say all of this fucked up shit, why the fuck would we care that bullet missed, grazed his ear? Why the fuck would we care about anything that happens to him when that's the type of person he shows us that he is? Oh, well, you're supposed to respect the fuck you in respecting the presidency. That man will talk shit about Joe Biden in front of God himself. I don't get it. I promise I'm trying to condense these, but there's a lot of shit to talk about. The NAACP said, Trump, you're not coming to this fucking convention. After 116 presidents, Trump ain't coming. That says something, because why the fuck would the NAACP invite somebody whose Justice Department stopped investigating civil rights cases? Why the fuck would the NAACP invite a motherfucker like that amongst all of the other civil rights violations he's done? Why the fuck would the NAACP invite him? Fuck him. I'm not done. I'll try to end it with this bullshit. They are renaming military bases after soldiers and generals that were on the Confederate side. So again, I will say very loudly, fuck you if you support this administration, and triple fuck you if you support this administration and think we're friends. Especially the people that try to say, oh, y'all, all y'all do is talk about race. You're always pulling the race card. They are talking about renaming. They're going to rename military bases after people that fought on the Confederate side during the Civil War. In case somebody has lied to you, people on the Confederate side during the Civil War fought against America so that black people could still be slaves. That's what it was. Don't ever let anybody fucking tell you any type of lie. That's what it was. They said, oh fuck, we're ready to go to war before we let you take our slaves. Now the Trump administration in present day said, you know what? Those are real patriots. Let's rename the forts after, let's change the name back to what it was originally, because that was the name it was. And then they try to lie like, oh well, plenty of active duty military personnel and veterans have requested this. No. It's because we have fucking racist and white supremacists all throughout the federal government, and this is some of the most blatant display of their fucked up mindset we've seen in fucking years. That's all the fuck it is. There is no reason, there is no benefit, there is no positive to going out of your way to rename some military bases after some motherfuckers that would have kept slavery around forever if it was up to fucking them. You make it a priority in your first year as president to rename those bases? Please get so fucking far away from me if you have a crumb of reasoning as to why you still support this bullshit. None of it makes fucking sense. And fuck the goddamn comments in Scotty's video about Los Angeles. Somebody was like, I didn't expect this from you. Say her name, Laken Riley. That shit is fucking crazy. You take one illegal immigrant that obviously did some fucked up shit to Laken Riley, rest in peace, obviously, and then you say, yeah, what ICE is doing is great. Attack all the illegal immigrants. Okay, so when we have somebody shoot up a fucking school, we might as well go get round up all the quiet 14-year-old white boys that stay to themselves more than everybody else, and they're kind of weird compared to their other classmates. Let's just go round them up. One person like them committed a school shooting. Let's just go grab all of them with your fucking ideology. I just hate that fucking Laken Riley example so goddamn much, because how many weird ass old white motherfuckers have we caught in this country with hard drives full of pictures of little fucking girls? Y'all don't say go round up all the white men, do you? We got an illegal immigrant doing some fucked up violent shit that nobody should ever do, shouldn't happen to anybody ever. And y'all say, see, that's why we have to get them all out of here, because of that. I know Scotty has the fucking maturity or whatever to end his videos and say, I don't hate you, this is just me expressing my opinion. Fuck that, I hate y'all. Passionately, loudly, because what the fuck is that? Quite literally, rewatch this entire video and tell me what the fuck is that and how you support it. How the fuck are y'all not embarrassed? You want to come at me for bringing up all the racist shit that Donald Trump is doing as if race isn't a fucking factor in America. And then when they say, yeah, these military bases need to go back to their original name, named after fucking people that fought for slavery to continue. Bitch, I'll ask a question. I'll end this by asking a question I asked previously. How the fuck can I punch people in the face without going to jail? Please, somebody send me the logistics tonight.
Targeting a hospital. In this hospital, there are patients who are immobile. They can't even move.
Be so fucking for real. You, sir, have a history of targeting hospitals where people have been immobile and could not even move. First of all, the Geneva Convention of 1949 has condemned the targeting of hospitals in every situation. They are never to be seen as valid targets. The UN itself has affirmed that the Israeli government has a pattern of targeting hospitals, not just run by Gazans or Palestinians, but foreign-run hospitals by foreign governments, and UN hospitals have been targeted by the Israeli government. Now, this is just talking about the first wave of hospitals attacks that happened by the Israeli government that started on October 17th of 2023. And since that initial attack on October 17th of 2023, the Israeli government has targeted 36 hospitals. 36 hospitals. I had a pro-Israeli guy drop down to the comment section on my Threads post when I called out the Israeli government for having the ability to target these Iranian leaders so precisely, and the fact that they literally just demolished Gaza, indiscriminately targeting civilian population. His argument to justify what's happening in Gaza was, well, it's because, pretty much, let me just summarize this. It's because these Hamas fighters are hiding amongst the civilian populations, and they're not just standing out in the middle of a field with a sign on them that says, hey, I'm with Hamas. So that is collective punishment. That is also a violation of international law, which the Israeli government has consistently been condemned by the international community for. In the same way the Israeli government violates international law by the indiscriminate targeting of civilian populations via collective punishment, they do the same thing to hospitals. So that's why when you see these people that are online that are not empathetic towards the Israelis that are fleeing these missiles that are being lobbed at them by the Iranians, after they literally watched their government start this fight by launching missiles that hit Iranian targets and unalive civilian population. The reason why there's a lack of empathy for a lot of the Israelis that are online crying about these rockets flying, these missiles flying into Israel, into Tel Aviv, is because we know a lot of you were literally doing viewing parties as the Israeli government lobbed missiles and targeted Palestinian civilian targets, hospitals included. The targeting of hospitals and civilian targets is a violation of international law, even when the Israelis do it. Yeah.
50% of the Palestinian citizens of Israel do not have access to bomb shelters. 50% of the nearly 2 million Palestinians living in occupied Palestine, otherwise known as Israel proper, do not have access to bomb shelters amid Iranian missile strikes. Palestinian citizens of Israel, otherwise known as the 48 Palestinians, make up about 20% of the Israeli population, yet they do not receive the same rights as their Jewish counterparts. They're not even being granted the same right to basic safety. In Tamra, a city in northern Israel, there are about 37,000 residents who do not have access to a single public shelter. In Jaffa, Palestinians are being denied entry to bomb shelters by their Israeli neighbors who have changed the entry codes to the shelters to prevent their entry. In southern Israel, there are about 85,000 Bedouin citizens living in villages unrecognized by the Israeli state, and therefore they do not receive any protection via missile interception or even siren alerts. Most of these villages lack any safe rooms or portable shelters. People are relying on the terrain to protect themselves because they've been left to die by the Israeli state. Children are relying on makeshift shelters made out of truck cargo. Entire families are forced to seek refuge under bridges. Palestinians are being completely abandoned. And this is just another example of the inequities that exist in the Jewish supremacist state.
This is all I got from this video. I thought, okay, yeah, where are the megas? Those that said he is going to be anti-war, and because he said he was going to be anti-war, he's going to make sure that everything, like, you know, when he comes in, becomes a president, he is going to stop the war going in between Ukraine, like everywhere. This man lied so, I don't know how, he lied so much. Sincerely speaking, he lied so much that the people, I don't know if MAGAs really believed him or they voted out to spite other people, because you all know how They know how to vote against their own interests, but like, how did they vote this man into power again? And as you all can see, he said 2 weeks. So now, where are the MAGAs? Where are the leftists? Because you all were the ones that said it was not, at least I remember seeing some Muslim Arab Americans saying that after he won election and they were still blaming Kamala Harris, he became the president, they were still blaming Kamala Harris. And they said that so far, Donald Trump hasn't done anything, that if there was somebody that did something very bad to Arabs in the Middle East, was Kamala Harris. The fact that they do not include their former president, that is Joe Biden, tells you how bad these people are and how they knew what they were doing. Now, what are they saying? They've disappeared on the internet. They are nowhere to be found, because how do they actually look into your face at this point in time to tell you that they never knew this was going to be like this? Where is Rashidi Tlaib? All of them that said that instead of you to vote Kamala Harris, vote for this person, this man, or vote for Jill Stein. How are you all doing? Rashidi Tlaib, it looks like you disappeared completely. Now, I may not have the right word to tell you, but this is also a very teachable moment, because you undermine this man's ability. But like, how could Rashidi Tlaib, that is in politics, not see through this man's lenses? That tells you people how poorly. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. And now I am going to ask, why is I understand Americans and Israel are allies. Like, what stupid allies that each time something happens, it looks like Americans are running like after them or wanting to help them, assist them. Like, Americans are ready to go to war for no reason. Americans are ready to send soldiers out there to, you all already know, when you are a soldier, you have signed up for it. So this is also one of the reasons why they gave them lobster, steaks, and all of that, because tell them that you have to warm up. There is a war ahead of you. So why are MAGAs, especially, why are MAGAs, now that you all can see that your uncle or be your father, right, needs help with people to go out there to go do something? You all should come and show solidarity, that you support this man with all your strength and everything. Go out there, you can do it. Go out there and get it. Go out there and come back fearlessly. Let's see how it goes. I thought you all support this administration so bad. Why are you people still in the United States? Why are you not getting your backpack ready? I thought you all love Pe0ple so much. You go out there and go do it. Crazy ass people. Bye for now.